fairy voice mother, welcome. I hope you're feeling terrific, but if not, don't worry, because this is supposed to be a happy song. I noticed that there was a bit of a cry streak going on. This is a bit much. Bloody hell. Oh. And it's fine. I'm very in touch with my emotions, and it is an honour, truly, to be able to share my emotions with you. I get a real sense of fulfillment from it. I think it brings us closer together, and it's lovely. But sometimes I just don't want to cry, you know? So I specifically asked after the cry streak, the most recent cry streak, can we have some happy suggestions? And this one came up a lot. So put those tissues away and let's have a bloody good time. Oh, it's fuzzy. Oh, that's so cool. Really a snare doing that? No.
Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. It's not raining. Everybody's in the place. And don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey, running down the avenue. See how the sun shines.
So cute.
On the streets where once was pretty, disco blue. Sky is living in the day. Hey, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell
Yeah,
us
there's loads
why
of them.
you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
This is so chaotic in the best way. Like a minute and a half in, I've already questioned my sobriety at least twice. You see a cello and another cello, like the cellos are multiplying, the guitars seem like they're multiplying, Bob Ross is multiplying. I saw a snare being hit, but I heard like wood blocks. And that was after the really weird intro with the dissonance. And then there was a Dalek. And then that morning radio sound. Maybe the dissonant thing was like a nightmare, right? And then the person woke up from the nightmare to hear the radio man talking. And this is one of those situations where real life is better than a dream. Maybe we're living the dream. This is such a unique timbre because we're getting like this even 4/4 rhythm with all of these instruments in unison, ranging from bass to cello, violin, hi-hat. Sounds like there's a cowbell in there. You can usually detect the presence of a cowbell if there's something that hits with like a harsh transient, a shiny sound, but also with a kind of low pitch. It's like not like that. And it's a simple concept, everything being in unison on those completely straight beats. But obviously it's made more unique and interesting by this eclectic range of instruments all doing it together. Oh, it's so good. I love it. I love this vocal melody so much.
Sun is shining in the sky.
And the symmetry that these two little sections have had so far with each other.
Running down the avenue.
So, it opens so interestingly with a minor second interval. Sun is shining in the sky. My brain is trying to fill in that it's sun is shining in the sky. But that isn't what it is. And isn't that cool? Too cool for major seconds. And so the sun's in the sky, and then we get this little like cymbal rise. And then when he does the next line, which is, oh yeah, something about running, you'd be out of breath if you were running. And so your man just picks up a cello and runs with it, and on the beat goes, it's so creative. It's a very comedic run as well. And then in some moments, some of those instruments veer out of that. The violin started to soar a little bit and do those more connected legato notes. So you're like, oh.
Mr. Blue Sky is living.
But then they come back.
Here's the day. Hey.
Absolutely every single moment of this arrangement so far has had something for your ears to grab onto. There's absolutely no dull moments, even in the miniest micro beats between lines. Blue sky.
Please tell us why.
Constant ear excitement, and the reason it stays constantly exciting is because these little ear treats come in so many different forms. Sometimes we get a backing vocal,
So long,
and then in the case of the section that we just finished at, his vocal phrase was underlapped by the entry of this guitar melody that's on its way into opening up the new section. Oh, that's so nice. It's just like a variation of the vocal.
to the human race. A celebration, Mr. Blue Sky's up there waiting, and today is the day we've waited for.
Nice.
Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us.
I loved how they did waiting for the little riff at the end had the same vowel shape, which really made it felt like a continuation of that line. And then before today, hey, the vowel shape makes such a big difference because it completely changes the instrument you've got to work with. Like if you were to change the shape of a guitar from like the shape it is now with a round hole to like a rectangle with a zigzag hole, it's going to resonate differently. Probably. I've never tried, but I'm sure it would because of science. But the cool thing about the vocal tract is that you can experiment with it and change the shape all the time to get different sonic properties. So it's just so malleable.
Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue.
Aww.
It's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue. It's a place to be with you.
Ow.
Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
That is so cool. Aww. Sky Yay. And again.
But soon comes Mr. Night.
Oh, this is so good.
Now his hand is on your shoulder. Never mind, I'll remember you this. I'll remember you this way.
Oh, nice.
Please
Oh,
tell
my
us
God.
why you had to.
There are so many exciting musical features. For the first time, we got completely thrown out of that straight rhythm with this like disjointed double bass. Boom da ba boom da ba. It really made such a difference because we hadn't had like any syncopation until that point. And then that was super syncopated and jazzy and bouncy. And then we got thrown back in and it was like, we came home. There's something very comforting about these constant rhythms actually. So many different instruments of different frequency spectrums and all different kinds of properties, all doing the same thing together. It just feels like we can come home and everyone's there for us. No matter if they're a violin or a cowbell, they'll just keep us chugging along. There's a lot of unity and a lot of facets of this performance, like the collective decision to have a perm, unless they're all very blessed. They seem to set us up for this weird vocal effect with a slightly less weird deviance in the cello parts because they're usually doing this choppy thing. And they did get a little bit legato all of a sudden, so like, hang on. But then that vocoder thing comes in and that is definitely more weird. See, this proves how much they value keeping the vowels consistent. They have made sure to let you know that the sky, I are two separate identities, extra wise. It was such an interesting harmonic turnaround that spat us out nicely into the new section. I'll remember you this. I'll remember you this. Hello gorgeous, it's just future Lolli here with a quick interjection about harmony. I realised while I was editing that I didn't talk anywhere near enough about the harmony. I talked a lot, but not about the harmony. The harmony in this song is so interesting, and in my opinion, how they managed to make this song sound so exceptionally happy. So the song is obviously in a major key. It's in F major. Sun is shining in the sky is a major chord, but it did have that minor melody in it, so it was kind of a major chord and a minor chord at the same time. Then a suspended chord is a little passage. There ain't a cloud, and that's very tense. And then we land into a minor chord. Inside. Sad. Then we've got a major chord. It stopped raining. But listen to that melody note. It makes the chord a sus chord again. So even when the chords are major, they're not, because something about them is suspended, meaning that it's tense. It's not major. Then we come into a minor chord with a minor 7. Everybody's into a major. Play. But the melody is not in that major chord. So the note in the melody is the minor 7, even though it's a major chord. We actually hear this. It's a major, including the melody. Beautiful. It's C major, but it has an A in it. It's a beautiful new day. Major, but then hey. We get that suspended note in there again. So basically what I'm getting at, that very long-winded explanation, is there aren't very many true major chords in this piece. And whenever we do get major chords, they're confusing because there's usually a note in the melody that isn't in the major chord. It would make up a suspended chord. So the difference between a major chord and a suspended chord is just one note down to the left, like. So when we go between those, because it's mostly happy, and that suspended chord doesn't sound sad, it just kind of sounds wistful. And I think that's why this song is so emotional, because it isn't this sort of empty happiness. It isn't a basic happiness. It's a more complex kind of happiness, peppered with melancholy. When you look up melancholy in the dictionary, it says something like a pensive sadness with no real reason or something like that. And when you think about the lyrics, there is some sort of childlike frustration and melancholy in there all the time, because we love the blue sky so much and we do get sad when it goes away, and it reminds you of that all the time. Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for. There's a D minor and a G minor and an A minor, and when you think about it, that is then sad chords, minor chords, with sad lyrics. And not to mention, the last chord in that section doesn't even belong in the key. Where did we go wrong? That has nothing to do with this at all. So it's actually so pensive, and their mind is so far in the distance that they've actually left the key. But then now this is why it's so genius and why it sounds so undeniably happy, because they do this little turnaround out of the sad section into the happy section, and they bombard you with major chords. Where did we go wrong? And we're back into happy major land again. But you know, like in Toy Story 3, when it looks like they're all gonna get melted and they're all holding hands and it's like super sad, and then they get saved. So that brief moment of sadness juxtaposed to the happiness makes the happy parts sweeter and happier and more celebratory. If we hadn't been faced with the possibility of these characters' demise, if we hadn't experienced that moderate threat, then would we have been as happy as we were when we realised that ultimately they were absolutely fine? This acceleration of happiness out of the depths of nothingness. A lot of minor suspense that always resolves to something jolly and happy. Just those genius chords interweaved with the melody. But also the tempo is really fast. It felt like
super, super fast. And the faster we bop, the more energy we get going. And the lyrics, obviously, but more specifically, I think it's the commitment to the metaphor. The lyrics look like they could have been written by a 6-year-old in the best way, in the way that it is truly about the sky. It doesn't have any kind of adult undertones. There is a real pertinent innocence in that. Okay, future Lolli signing out.
I remember you as waves to blue skies. Tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue Sky, so please do away with blue sky. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you.
I feel like I've heard this vocal somewhere. Oh, so cool! How wonderful. Oh, that was so wonderful. Seeing it, that really did feel like an homage to the sky at the end. And it was only sort of as the song started to progress, once I'd calmed down from all of the musical, magical oddities, that I was really starting to internalise the lyrics. A song of gratitude. All you need to do, Blue Sky, is exist, because everyone loves you just the way you are. It doesn't get more positive than that. It's so beautiful, the way that they've written this music to this clip. And the sky is blue, we've got this exciting groove and these really epic, angelic choral vocals, very exaltatious. And then when the sun sets, the backing vocals just fade off, the tempo slows down, and we're just stuck with Mr. Knight. I love it so much. I'm sure that I've heard lots of samples from this song used in other contexts like movies. And because this song is just full of that kind of potential, it's like a huge almanac of extractable sounds that you can take. Because as I said earlier, like there is something exciting to listen to constantly. And so there's loads of sampling opportunities. But in this complete musical work, it just all gets beamed right in your face all at once. And it is a really electrifying experience. Electric lights. Beaming extravagant, zany musical components at me. Not only do I love the lyrical concept, the musical concepts are equally as unique and very illustrative of the lyrical concept without it being cringe, right? So there was the odd jovial moment of Foley, like when he did the when he was running out of breath, and then the wake up radio, more explicit examples like that. But then the rest of the song was just magically the musical embodiment of a happy day with a blue sky. Completely masterful. I absolutely loved it. Extremely intelligent composition, tight concept, tight musicianship, and very tight curls. What more could you possibly want? So least but not last, let me read out to you today's oracle card. I think you might need a cheerleader right now. You have no idea how f***ing amazing you are. Recognize your traits, your skills, your worth, you beautiful human, you. It's true, I tell you all the time, and now it's confirmed. Thank you ever so much for choosing to hang out with me today. I hope you have enjoyed your time here as much as I have enjoyed making this video for you. If there are any singers you would like to see me analyse, then please do let me know down below in the comments, or you can join our Patreon and let me know there. If you made it to the premiere, then a ginormous premiere hug for you. And if you're here at any other time, then a huge hug for you too. I love you loads. Have a wonderful day. If you do want to stay happy, then I would definitely recommend this video, which is another one where I don't cry. There are more. I love you loads, and I can't wait to see you again next time. Bye! This is gonna sound weird. My eyes are drawn to that massive gong. I wonder if he's gonna... I hope so. They're really expensive, by the way, gongs. I looked into buying one because I thought, you know, I'd treat myself. They're like thousands and thousands of pounds. Ooh, in that passage. A word that creeps me out for some reason. Probably because people say back passage. It means butthole. I don't know why they just don't say butthole. So much nicer. Anyway, I'm excited to have fun. Fun. Wow, that doesn't look very nice. Oh, my headphones don't put themselves on apparently. So put those tissues away. I have to go pick that up.